So let's start. Hi and welcome. First of all, we're gonna record this webinar. So maybe you're coming late because we're still missing a lot of people, but I want to start on time. So this webinar can be watched later. I'm gonna record it for you and I'm gonna send you the link to the webinar. And please, if you have any questions, just post it into the chat box and I will try to answer all of the questions after the webinar. And if we can't answer all the questions because we don't have enough time, I will also give you my email address so you can send me your questions and I try to answer them. So let's start the webinar. Welcome to everybody. Thanks for joining the webinar. Really a lot of people signed up for this webinar and we're still getting new people in all the time. So this webinar is about the new Penguin update. The new Penguin update will come every day. So Google is talking about the real-time Penguin and we are really waiting every day for the new update to get rolled out. What I want to do in this webinar is I want to show you some data, some of our experience that we collected looking at the last Penguin updates. So we do a lot of Penguin recovery work and we do a lot of protection work if it comes to penalty, because I think it's clearly much more clever to protect your website from an upcoming penalty than to try to fix it later. So I will give you some advice, I will give you some tips how you can protect your website, how you can protect your business actually from the upcoming update. And I will show you some tricks and some things that you should know about Penguin. We will start very basic, looking at the Penguin factors, the Penguin issues. Then we will talk about what the new Penguin for real-time update could mean for you, what will be different. And after that, I'm here to answer your questions. So let's start. If you don't know me, here's a little information about me. My name is Harald Tschugnal. I've got more than 10 years of experience in SEO. I'm an expert in penalty recovery and we do a lot of penalty protection. I'm writing and I also train. I founded Web Protect 365, which is basically focusing on protecting websites, and I run SEO Academy if you want to learn some stuff in SEO. So what is the Google Penguin update exactly? Let's start in the beginning and then really go up to the new Penguin 4. So Penguin 1 was basically designed back in 2012 and Penguin is basically an algorithmic update. So Google had to figure out a way how to clear or how to clean up the index. They had to make sure that just the best results will show up. And so Google implemented the Google Penguin update. And actually what changed from that day on was that links from 2012, from April 2012, links also can have a negative impact on your website. This is very important to know. Before, the strategy was for many people just throw on it every link or build as many links as you can and see what sticks. So it's very important to know since April 2012, it's different. There's also a negative impact. So you really have to know, you really have to monitor your link profile. So let's go through the data. Penguin 1 was actually rolled out, like I said, in April 2012. Then there was suddenly after it, already in May, Penguin 1.1, I assume they had little problems or they had to correct some stuff. Because if you look at the following updates, actually, most of them are just after a year. So if you look at Penguin 2.1 down here, it's October 4, 2013. Penguin 3 was October the 17th, 2014. That was just last Friday. So we expect Penguin 4 rolling out every day now. And as we see later, Penguin 4 will be different. It will be different because they announced that Penguin 4 will be real time. But let's look at it later. I will go through some Penguin updates and explain what is different now and how different will be Penguin 4 and what you have to do to protect yourself actually against Penguin. So, like I said, Penguin is an update that focuses on the quality guidelines. So Google is trying to clean up the index or clear the search results, just show the best results in there. So what is very important here is of course, it's not all the issues that are here in the quality guidelines are Penguin related. They're also Panda related. If you look at some, it's automatically or automated generated content. That would be more a Panda issue, of course. But then, if you participate in link schemes and if you do snaky redirects and if you use link building tactics that are against Google's guidelines, Penguin could hit you. I'm going to show you some samples of unnatural links later. So actually Google implemented the Google Penguin update, of course, to get better quality results. So the first Penguin was Penguin 1, and it was really announced a step to reward higher quality sites. There's a Google blog post out, and they've been very proud to release this Penguin update on April the 24th, 2012. And then it really continued. In Penguin 1, they gave some samples that we know quite sure that these are not really Penguin related. I would put them more into the Panda related issues because here it's all about web spam and it's actually about web spam tactics, keyword stuffing, and stuff like that. And also, of course, about hard money anchor text. This is basically the biggest issue if we look at websites that have been penalized by Penguin. The hard money anchor text is one of the biggest issues. I also prepared a nice list for you showing you which factors are actually triggering Penguin. We did a lot of case studies together with the link research tools, and there we compared 12 case studies and looked actually at the factors that have been the same for all that case studies. So basically, if you look at Penguin 1 and if you look at the SEO visibility, so the rankings for the websites, you will see from Penguin 1 actually to Penguin 2 and 2.1 that the patterns are like that. So on the Penguin update days, there's a huge drop. So you lose almost all of your rankings. If you're not sure if you're hit by the Google Penguin update, tools like Systrix or Searchmetrics or also SEMrush is not so bad, showing you that numbers. You can check using these tools and see if you have big hits like that, big drops, then exactly on these days actually, then it's very likely that you have been hit by Penguin. But what we have seen in Penguin 3 is that it is really was really a little different with Penguin 3 because we have seen clients recovering very slowly, and we have also seen websites dropping very slowly. So it was not the same. It was not these clear cuts. It was not exactly on these days. It was just week per week you could see that clients are getting the keyword rankings back or dropping again and again. So this was Penguin 1. After that, there was Penguin 1.1 in May 2012, and that didn't really affect a lot of the queries. So Matt Cutts tweeted it was just 0.1% of the English queries have been affected by Penguin 1.1. And the interesting thing is we also have seen recoveries at that day already. So the first recovery that was the first of the bigger recoveries was actually a post that was written on SEO Moz, and the guy looked at vpmu.org, and they had a Penguin penalty, and they, as you can see here, they removed a lot of edu blog links and cleaned up a lot of stuff. So they actually recovered. And if you look at the search visibility here, the SEO visibility, you can see that actually they recovered from Penguin. Of course, as you can see as well, they dropped later again. But I mean, we could see at least the first recoveries, and we could prove some theories, or we could see that also some of our clients recovered because we did a lot of link removal actually at this time. So if we go on here, there was Penguin 2 then in May 2013. Penguin 2 was actually announced on twit.tv, and Matt Cutts was interviewed there, and he actually announced Penguin 2 in that TV show. And again, the patterns for Penguin 2 have been exactly the same. On the update days, you could really see big drops. And you see also in this case, it dropped really a lot. And websites have been losing a lot of visitors, a lot of traffic. And if you would imagine your business website is one of these websites, you can imagine how much traffic, how much money, how much conversions you could lose if Google is an important channel for you. So it's very important that you focus or that you monitor your backlinks. So Penguin 2 was actually quite similar to Penguin 1, and the 2.1 was announced in May 2013 again. The impact was also just like 1%. So not too much impact. But from Penguin 3, we could see, like I mentioned before, that websites have been recovering faster and also dropping, actually not faster, dropping slower and also increasing slower. So it was a little different. Here we can see a little sample that you see here, a Penguin update, and they really dropped, and they got hit from another Penguin update and actually another Penguin update. And now from the last Penguin update, actually they are recovering a little. So you can see if you do the right things, you can recover from a Penguin. The big problem is just that it needs, in the moment, it needs about a year to recover. So this is really a big issue. I mean, if you think about it, if you are a company making a lot of money and Google is an important channel for you, it's very hard to survive for a year, isn't it? So Penguin 4 will roll out any day now, because Google also talked about it, and we know that the last updates have been always like a year. So the last one, like I mentioned in the beginning, was on the 17th of October last year. So we reckon that Penguin 4 is just around the corner. And Penguin 4 actually, they say Penguin 4 will be real time. So what does real time mean? I think it will be extremely hard for Google So we talk about real time, it will not be like Google is crawling your website and they will really apply all the algorithms to that website at the same time, because you have to know that if they look at Penguin, or when they look at Penguin, they actually have to know all the backlinks that are out there pointing to your website. So it's actually very hard to apply it real time. So real time will be more, I think, on an ongoing basis. So probably they will try to do it like they do it with Panda now. So they will try to roll it out maybe on a monthly basis. So what does that mean for you? Of course, for many companies, or it has like a positive effect because it's much easier to recover, of course, or it's much faster to recover. So you don't have to wait a year and recover from Penguin. You can recover within a week or within a month, depending on the real time, depending on the algorithm, how often they're gonna roll it out. So this is a big advantage, of course, that they gonna roll it out probably on a monthly basis. But also there's a lot of risk as well, because if you can recover quite fast, there's also the possibility that you can drop very fast. And there's negative SEO out there, and that could mean for you that if somebody applies negative SEO to your website, if somebody builds a lot of negative links to your website, and this is actually much easier these days to build bad links for your competitors than to build good links for yourself. So it's also a high risk. So I would really recommend that you try to monitor your backlinks. I will show you some tools, or we'll give you some tips how you could do that. Of course, it's really critical. I would suggest that you at least monitor or look at your backlinks like once a month, see what is coming in, see what links are there. Now, probably many of you in this webinar will ask or will not know how can they find out what a bad link is, or what could be the factors that Penguin is looking at. And what we did is we wrote actually a lot of case studies on link research tools. Some of you will know it. It's the leading software. It's really the professional software, the only professional software out there if you want to dig deep into your link profile. So what we did is we took 12 case studies and looked or checked if we find some similarities. So, and actually, the first step was to look at anchor text over optimization. That means using a lot of money keyword anchor text. So using a lot of the keywords that you want to rank for that are very competitive, and actually 11 of that 12 websites, or in 11 of that 12 case studies, it was the case that anchor text was really over optimized. So this is a very critical issue. If you do link building, or if you look at your link profile, you have to know that the regular link profile or natural link profile actually doesn't have any, or doesn't have a lot of exact match keywords. So if you want to rank for, let's say, red cars as example, you shouldn't have a lot of red car or red cars links actually, because this is quite unnatural. To really know, what you have to do is to look at your competitors. So you should analyze your competitors and see how their link profile looks like. So if you look at the top 10 people ranking for that keyword, and also look at your link profile and compare these link profiles, you will find out if you are over optimizing already or not. So This is a very important factor. Then we looked at power and trust. Power and trust is basically, you could say it's like the new PageRank. Power would be the amount of good links pointing to a website, and trust would be something like Google is actually looking at websites, and if it's like a university website or if it's a big newspaper or really authoritative website, this website will have a lot of trust. So it's a metric of power and trust, telling you if the website has got a lot of power and is also trusted by Google. And also in 9 of these 12 cases, this was a big issue. The next factor was actually site-wide links. We looked at site-wide links. So many websites have got like footer links on every sub-page, on every page, linking to you or linking, basically linking to you. And this could also be risky. We also looked at paid links, also 7 of 12 case studies. We found that paid links are involved. We looked at the power trust distribution. That means websites had a lot more power than trust. And this could also be a sign that your website is at risk. If you click on the link below, later I will send you the presentation. You can take a closer look at all the case studies and really dig deep into the factors if you want to. We don't have enough time to discuss it here, so we'll just go over that factors and explain it a little. So sneaky redirects, actually, what I mean by that is that some websites bought or used to have old domains that they just redirected their links to the new website, or they just bought expired domains and used it for their own ranking. Then we looked at the unnatural link growth. That means that your link profile or your backlinks are growing too fast or too slow, or you don't get any links back or not. So in this case, it wasn't really risky. That we found some cases where if it was like minus 60% link growth, so really it stopped getting new backlinks. The case studies or the projects, the websites stopped getting new backlinks. Then we saw it correlating actually with Google Penguin. Link networks involved. We also had a lot of case studies where we saw link networks involved. That means if you just go out and buy links somewhere, you just sign up in some network and you buy links. This is actually quite dangerous and you could get hit by Penguin. Unnatural country ratio. That means actually if you want to rank in the States, it would be quite important for you to have more links out of the States. It really always depends on the industry, but it seems, or it's very unnatural, like if you do business in the States or you've got all your clients and everything in the States and you have got a lot of links from Russia or Poland or whatever, that actually could be a sign of negative SEO if this is not related, because of a lot of this automated link building software like XRAMA and stuff is using a lot of Russian links. So you also should have your country ratio in mind. And for Google, it's quite logical. If your main market is the US, you will have advantage to have a lot of links from the US. Then we looked at the deep link ratio. That just means that some people or some websites have a lot more links to sub pages than to the start page. And in case of a shop, for example, an online shop, that could be a sign for unnatural link building, because almost all the links are going to deep pages. Almost all links are going to sub pages and not to the start page. Then we have unnatural link status. That just means so you can have follow links, no follow links, and so on. So this also correlated quite a lot with the Penguin Mr. Penguin victims. And then, of course, we also looked at the detox risk. For those in the webinar who don't know, Detox is actually a product of the Link Research Tools, and is a tool that makes it much easier for you to monitor and also to find out if you are at risk or not. So what the tool does is it gets all your backlinks. You can add additional backlinks, and you are able to look at every backlink and rate this link good or bad, and the tool will help you to find out if it's good or bad. Now let's look at at a few samples to help you to understand what a bad link is actually. So basically, these are very obvious samples. If Google is talking about bad links, it's actually not so easy to find out what a bad link is, because there's no clear definition from Google. Google says they don't want to have links that you placed yourself, because basically a link is a recommendation. And of course, Google doesn't want you or somebody that you hired to recommend your own website. So every portal, every web directory, everything that where it's very easy actually to place a link, this is seen as unnatural link. And these are very obvious samples. So if you find like some web directory or whatever and submit a listing, or this is the classical web directory style where you have like the thumbnail on the right side and then you have a little description and stuff like that. And another thing is, in some cases, in a very few cases, the web directory will be okay, but just if it's really on topic. What I mean by that is if you are in the car industry or whatever. So if you, let's say you're selling cars, then your website, it's totally fine if your website is in a special industry directory, just showing results for cars or car parts or whatever. But if you look at the categories down here on the left side, you see arts, you see business, you see computer, education, health and fitness, home, games, and sometimes you see casino and you see Viagra and all the stuff. You don't want to be on a directory like that. And yeah, this is another screenshot actually of the same directory where you just see that you can put in your website's URL, put in your email address and get a link there. And sometimes it's like you have to place a link on your website, and in exchange, actually you get a link on this website. So I don't recommend that you get a link from a website like that. And of course, this is another very obvious sample where you see it's a directory and it says SEO friendly web directory. I mean, and you even see that they're offering SEO services and whatever, latest links. This is really alarming for me. So don't touch directories like that. And keep in mind, Google doesn't want you to place a link yourself. So a link is really a recommendation, like I said, and you shouldn't place it yourself. Also, article directories are quite dangerous if they are structured like the sample you're gonna see over here. So like the Go articles or other big article directories. Because the problem that you have over here, they are not focused on one topic. If you do link building these days, if you place links somewhere, if you look at your backlink profile, I would strongly recommend to focus on getting on topic links. So of course, sometimes you're getting links from your partners or from other strong websites that are not really industry related. But if you go into like directories, or if you go into big article distribution networks, also press portals, I would recommend to be a little careful. And I mean, here's another article directory that even explains here that you have to place a link on their website to get place a link on your website to get a link on their website. This is something you shouldn't do anymore. These are just some samples to make it clear for you what is actually a unnatural link. If you want to have more samples, actually, in the last slide will have my contact details. You can just drop me an email. I've got an ebook that shows 99 unnatural links that will give you some more examples how an unnatural link looks like. This is another example. I mean, this is just some article directory having hard money anchor text. You should really keep away from that stuff. So the last week when I opened for registration, I already gave you the possibility to ask some Penguin related questions. And I want to go through these questions here and answer them for you. And then, of course, you will have the opportunity to ask some more questions. Just type them into the chat box and I will try to answer them. So let's start to answer some questions. So how can I find out if I'm at risk? A lot of people actually ask that, and of course this is very important. Now the new Penguin update is just coming every day, so it's very important. It's important all the time, and it's not just about Penguin, but of course Penguin is backlink related. So in case of the Penguin update, I would really recommend to use the link research tools, and they have like a tool called the Detox tool. They also have the Detox One, which is made just for one project. What you can do is you can look at your backlink profile and you can run it so that the big one, the link detox, you can run whenever you want. The detox one, the smaller tool, you can run, I think, on a monthly or on a weekly basis. And this will really help you to clean up your link profile. You should look at every link. The tool is just giving you some more metrics in the background and showing you some more details about the link. On this link, you actually, or on this data, you can make some more decisions. So I would really recommend to use the link research tools for that. There are some other tools out there, but I haven't seen good results with them, so I would really recommend them. Of course, you could also go to our website and we will do a free risk check for you. There's the URL in there. I will post it in the chat later. It's also on the last slide. But if you want to do it yourself, get link research tools if you have the feeling you are not able to figure out what a bad link will be, and if you don't really know what to do then, because actually it's like I said, it's not so easy to find out what is really a bad link and what is really a good link. What can I do to minimize my risk? So basically, it's I answered that already. You should really monitor your backlink profile on an ongoing basis and then generate a disavow file. So for the people who don't know, there's the Google Disavow tool out there. So it's now possible to go out and put your bad links in like a text file and upload this text file to Google. And basically you're saying then to Google, I don't want this link power, these links to count. And you have to be very careful, but because if you don't know what you're doing, you could also put in links that help you in the moment, because the tool works for all kind of links. So if you put in links that still have value, Google still sees as valuable, then you will take away this link power from your website. So you will actually hurt yourself. But if these links are really bad links in the eyes of Google, of course, it helps your rankings. I disavowed links about 2 years ago. Do I have to disavow links again? Yes, of course. I mean, you have to monitor that on an ongoing basis, and you really have to update your disavow file. Very important to know if it comes to the disavow file is actually that you have to put in, so you have to add new links that you want to disavow. It's not like you uploading the disavow file to Google and Google will store this disavow file and you can upload a new one. No, because what happens is if you upload a new one, you're gonna overwrite the old one. So what you have to do is you have to actually download the old one from Google, or you still have it stored somewhere on your hard drive, and then actually you have to add the new links to your disavow file. Don't just upload a new one, because if you just upload the new one, you will overwrite the old one, and then the old links will actually become active again. So this is actually a mistake or problem that we see a lot of times. So many people just overwrite the disavow file and then they wonder why it doesn't work. So actually you're taking out the links again if you overwrite them. So we have got some more questions here. Why does it take Google that long to refresh the Penguin update? So the problem really is that they have to look at every backlink that is out there in the World Wide Web pointing to your website, because they need to look at every link, and they need to look at, is this actually a negative or a bad link, or is this a good link, and how much value or how much trust, how much power should that link give to your website. So this is really something that takes time. Of course, now we heard that Penguin 4 will actually be in real time. And to be honest, I'm not quite sure how Google will do that. Like I said, I think they will do it, or will try to do it on a monthly basis. But they also tried to do it with Penguin 3, and we know that didn't work out. So we'll see what they're going to do now with Penguin 4. Maybe they found a way to, some clever engineers found a way to mathematically calculate some parts of the link graph, and using that to calculate the overall backlinks that will probably point to your website. So if they really do it very fast, if they really do it real time, then they would have to do it somehow like that. Or they have, I don't know, maybe they have a lot of new server power, so they're able to do that calculations much faster. But like I said, it's really very, very hard to recalculate Penguin, and we have seen Google having big trouble to recalculate Penguin fast. They're trying to do it on real time, or they're trying to do it on an ongoing basis, on a monthly basis or 2 monthly basis for a long time already. So we'll see how Penguin 4 will work. When starting a new web project, is there anything you can do to protect yourself against penalties? So first of all, if you're starting a new web project and you're buying a H domain, or you're taking on expired domain, or you're doing something like that, then it would be very important for you to check that domain actually. So really look, what does the domain that you're buying have already a backlink profile, and that backlink profile could be positive, or it could be also quite negative already. So this would be very important if you buy a domain and start like that. If you don't buy a domain and just register a new one, then you don't have existing backlink profile. And what I've seen these days is this can be really an advantage, because all the old websites that are out there for 10, 15 years or 5 years, they have a link profile that is already aged. And there was the time, and it's not so long ago, like 3-4 years ago, it was totally normal that everybody used to build web directory links or bookmarking links or stuff like that. So websites that are out there for some years, they have this kind of links. And for them, it's somehow it's a disadvantage. Somehow they have an advantage because they have like this 10 or 15 years of experience, or they have been out on the market. But this could also be a disadvantage if they didn't care about the link profile, if they used tactics in the past that could hurt you now. Because it could be that you like build up let's say 100 web directory links that are not really hurting you in the moment, but if you probably getting 4, 5, 6 new web directory links now, that could hurt you because it could just be too much. It could trigger a penalty. It could just be too much percentage of some unnatural link pattern. So keep in mind that if you have an aged website, it's critical to look at your backlink profile as soon as possible. And if you're starting a new website, like the question is in this in this sheet, then it's very important for you that you start monitoring your backlinks from day one, I would say, because you want to know what kind of links are coming in. And especially if you are a new website, if you have got a very, very small link profile, it is really critical that you could get a negative SEO attack, and this negative SEO attack could work very well. So you could lose a lot in the beginning as well, because if a website doesn't have powerful or trusted links, then it is very easy for somebody to negative SEO actually that website. The next question is there any way to tell whether a disavow file has been fully crawled and processed by Google? Actually, if you do it in a regular way, so if you just submit the disavow file, then it's not really possible. There are tools out there like the Boost tool from Link Research Tools. What they do is they make URL shorteners, so they can recognize if Googlebot came by or visited that link, and doing that they can know, or they will know if Google crawled that website or that link already. So like that, you could find out if Google crawled your disavow file already. So this is actually the only way. Is it guaranteed that Google devalues all links in my disavow file? I would say not really. I mean, of course, they say they will not count links that are in your disavow file, but I would see it more like the nofollow tag. We know that actually the nofollow tag is seen like a recommendation by Google. And also in this case, I'm quite sure that most of the time it will work. But I also think that there will be something like if Google thinks you disavowed that not really knowing what you do, or if there is something strange disavowed in Google's eyes, or if you did it wrong, of course, then it won't work. Of course, it's very important that the structure of the disavow file is in the right way. So if you put it the wrong way into the disavow file, of course, it won't work. So, and also, like I mentioned, it's very important to update the disavow file and not to override it. But it's not guaranteed that it will not count. But yeah, it should work. Let's say it like that. Do we have to check no follow links? Basically, this is also Google is also telling us that we don't really have to look at no follow links, but actually we have seen some cases where we saw penalties, and actually the samples, we saw some manual penalties where the samples have been no follow links. And I'm quite sure they treat the no follow links the same looking at the Penguin update. So actually, I would also suggest to look at the nofollow links. If you have a lot of backlinks, I would say the first priority would be to look at the follow links and then continue with the nofollow links. And of course, now Penguin 4, we think that Penguin 4 will roll out every day now. So I would recommend to start today, actually. And I mean, if it's really going to be a real-time Penguin, so they're going to manage to roll it out quite fast, then it's not, even if you miss the first update now, if it's really then a real time, you will still have the chance to recover, hopefully in a month if they roll it out again. But like I mentioned, it's also a new risk, because also negative links can work much faster now. So keep in mind, this is also risky if it comes to negative SEO. So the next question, how long does it take Google to consider the disavow file once it's uploaded? We have done some tests for some projects, and what we have seen in most of the cases, we saw impact between 6 and 8 weeks. So what we did is we generated disavow files, we uploaded them to Google. We saw the first impacts in between 6 to 8 weeks. We waited like some months. Then actually we deleted the disavow file and checked what is going on. So are the rankings increasing? What about the SEO visibility and so on? And we could see that after 4 to 6 weeks, we could see, of course, positive and negative changes. If we have been submitting the disavow file with all the bad links, we saw positive changes, and as soon we removed the disavow file, we saw it actually the other way around. So like I mentioned, if you don't know, or if you think you don't have the knowledge to use a tool yourself, feel free to use our free risk check. I can post it in the chat later. And also sign up for our next webinars. They will be all penalty related. So we will talk about Google Panda. We will talk about the new Penguin as soon Penguin is coming out. And we will also talk about other issues that could actually impact your traffic, your rankings. That starts actually by securing your domain name and looking at your content, looking at your backlink profile, and so on. And yeah, we will do that on a weekly basis. So it will be every Monday at 10 p.m. Central European time. And if you have any more questions, you can actually post them to ht@webprotect365.com. I just look at some more questions that have been posted here during the webinar. So one was, what do you mean by paid links? In the dating industry, review sites operate and links to sites with paid and affiliate fee. So paid links, what I mean by paid links is actually going out and buying links somewhere. So paid links, it could be joining like one of these link buying networks where you pay some money to get links. Or it could also be if you have some products, if you are some if you, for example, give away some products for some cosmetic products, you produce some cosmetic products, and if you would give away these products for free to the bloggers to write about it, this would actually also be seen as paid link from Google. So paying for a link would be really spending money or giving a product for it. And the question was also about affiliates. I mean, if it comes to affiliates, it's like basically according to Google's guidelines, an affiliate link should be a nofollow link, because it's not really a recommendation. Affiliate is actually working for that brand, if you see it like that. And every affiliate link is, of course, pointing back to the product or to the website, and the affiliate is earning some money with it. And it's a link, but this link shouldn't really count as recommendation. That's why actually Google is recommending in their guidelines that you should really no follow this kind of links. There was another question here posted about networks. So really having some link networks, setting up some own websites to build links, so having a lot of links to your website. And I would really stay away from that. Actually, since the Google Penguin update, this is since the first Google Penguin update in 2012, I would consider that tactic as quite risky. Because, I mean, if you use the link research tools and you look at your link profile, even in a tool like that, I mean, it's a very advanced tool, but just imagine what Google is able to see. And if we look at a website, we can clearly see the link network around it. So I would consider this as very dangerous link building tactic, and I wouldn't recommend to do that. And to be honest, I mean, these days it's all about power and trust. So it doesn't really help to have a lot of websites pointing to you that don't have any value. So it doesn't really make sense to set up a lot of networks. I would more focus on building high quality content and doing other strategies. So really focusing on building value for users. So this is what I recommend. I would really stay away from these networks and paid links and stuff like that. So we are already over 1 hour. Thank you very much for joining this webinar, and don't forget to sign up for the next webinars. Like I mentioned, they will all be penalty related. It doesn't really matter which penalty hits you, I would say, because you're gonna lose a lot of traffic, you're gonna lose a lot of visitors, a lot of money. So we will talk about all the risks that are out there losing traffic. And if you have any more questions, please just send me a mail to ht@webprotect365.com. I will send you the slides if you want to, and you can contact me anytime. This webinar was also recorded, so I will send you the recordings to the email address which you used to register. So thanks a lot again, and hopefully see you next week. Thanks for joining. Bye bye.